I'm Chisholm Okorafor from Studio Dance, and you're watching Leopard Spotlight.
Welcome everybody to the last Leopard Spotlight of the year. I'm Sylvia Hansen.
And I'm Hayden McKenzie.
In this edition, a senior boy takes advantage of both speed and strength to excel in two sports.
A local organization provides international outreach to people in need.
And our favorite teachers give advice to our outgoing seniors.
But first, a senior builds her creative outlet. Sophia and Lee have the story.
For many people, creativity comes in the form of storytelling or art, but senior Brooke Butner found her own way to express herself.
So I went to Sky Ranch a couple years ago and I learned how to make friendship bracelets. And from there, I just kept making those. Even after I came back, I made them all the time.
Inspired by her handmade bracelets, Brooke took classes over the summer at Dallas Crafters Guild, where she learned to make metal jewelry.
She was never one, like, she doesn't write real fanciful stories. She wants very factual, very deliberate. She dealt in the here and the now. And as a parent, you look for that thing that makes your kid excited. And you try sports, and you try dancing, and you try all these other things. And just here we are, just happening upon something that just made her excited. And that's fun.
I know I took to it very naturally. I was a very natural, just kind of walked in and heated stuff, and it went fine. Only burnt myself once. It gave me a lot of confidence in my creative ability because I didn't really have an outlet to be creative beforehand. And it's really just given me an outlet to be creative and to be a bit of myself and to just have fun with it.
With her jewelry, she designs and creates and comes up with all kinds of ideas, and her mind just goes now.
Yeah, I've made a lot of gifts for my friends. I've given a couple of them different pendants. For prom, I made all of them rings. I think it means a lot because I've spent time and energy and really thought about what I wanted to give them, and it was personal because I made it.
Brooke's newfound passion and creative mindset allows her to reach beyond traditional designs.
It was a while ago that my brain just kind of popped in the idea of, hey, you should build a gauntlet. And I was like, okay, we're just going to table that for a bit because I don't have the resources or time. And then senior project rolled around and it was like, hey, that would be a cool thing to do. It was a decent amount of work, but I think it turned out really cool, and it functions like an actual gauntlet. I wouldn't take it into combat or anything, but it looks really cool.
While Brooke doesn't plan on becoming a professional jeweler, she believes jewelry making will still aid her in the future.
Yeah, I'm planning to major in mechanical engineering. Eventually, I would really like to work on planes. Hopefully, I'm able to bring some of the elements of metalworking and design into my job, because on planes and even any building thing, you have to design how it looks, and I think with the jewelry, you know how metal works together. Even though my creative bit is much smaller compared to my technical science math brain, it's still there, and to me it's very important to have because life gets kind of boring without creativity, so I think it's really important that you find your niche for creativeness and expand there.
This is Lee Kennebrew and Sophia Hessner reporting for the Lovejoy News Network.
Enough speed to break a long touchdown run. Enough power to throw a 12-pound iron ball more than 56 feet. One student has both of these attributes. Follow Jackie to the track to find the story.
Turned by number 12.
Watching from the sideline is where Jahi Rainey's athletic journey began.
I saw my brother when I was growing up, he'd always play football for the Buccaneers, and I always run out on the field trying to mimic some of the stuff they were doing. So my parents kind of saw that I wanted to play football. So about kindergarten, they signed me up for first grade tackle football. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Number 28, Jahi Rainey.
I started track because of my sister. I started doing shot put because I didn't really want to run. So I was like, dang, what can I do to get out of running, because I can't just hide in the bathrooms while they're doing it. And then I saw my brother was doing shot put, and I was like, well, I see he's doing shot put. He doesn't really have to run.
As he progressed in both football and shot put, the contrasting sports began to clash.
Whenever I go to different meets, you'll see me compared to other people. I'll be a lot shorter, a lot tinier. And the other people will be 6'3", 6'4", just 250. My body type, I really mimicked it for football and being a running back because I need to be agile, like quick enough and big enough to like take hits.
However, Yahi has found parallels between the two contrasting sports which better his performance in both.
Well, football helped me a ton because the position I play is really explosive. During like the footwork, I can really use that to my advantage because a lot of big guys, they'll be big, but they don't have really much explosiveness. And so I kind of use the explosiveness to like really translate through my throw.
It's not as much strength as most people probably would imagine. When people a lot of times think of shot put, they tie that in with how strong you are, but really it's a technical throw.
There was a lot of challenges that I like kind of dealt with, and like my brother, he helped me through it. He was just telling me like hey, like you need both of them. They'll both like feed off of each other.
Yahi is continuing his track and field career at the University of Arkansas, widely known for its track and field program and coaches.
It was like going to a Power 5 or knowing somewhere like I knew I would grow.
I think it's a great opportunity for him. You know, we had a conversation after the regional track meet, after discus. He didn't have a good day in the discus. And I just told him, I said, hey, look, quit putting so much pressure on yourself. After this meet, you get to move on and continue to throw. It's not your last meet.
This is Jackie Carroll reporting for the Lovejoy News Network.
While charitable work mainly benefits the needy, volunteers can also reap rewards for their service. Shivani and Annabeth share the story of a group working to make a difference in Honduras.
Tom Bryan, one of the founders of Kids Against Hunger, struggled to find a way to fight the growing problem of malnourishment until his wife presented him with a new idea.
Sharon had been looking for something to feed children, and she had looked at several products and several different things, and we hadn't found anything really that we thought would fit until the Kids Against Hunger program came along.
Stephen Hosack explains that Kids Against Hunger does not only benefit the starving, but also has a lasting impact on those who volunteer.
Kids Against Hunger and Send Hope, I think, have taught us a lot of different things. Living in a different country and that's a different culture kind of teaches us to be patient and to be very loving of other people. There's a lot of different things that we see that we wonder why they're doing it that way. And then when we sit back and really watch them, we can learn how a different culture lives. And in some ways may not be the most efficient, but in some ways they are better than us. And so it's a great opportunity for us to just learn about different people.
Although Kids Against Hunger hasn't been around for long, Tom can already see the tremendous effect it has made.
My favorite thing about Kids Against Hunger is saving lives. This food that we're giving these kids is life-saving. And I don't know how many children's lives we have saved because of the food, but it's a large number. So the thing that motivates me and keeps me going is knowing that we're able to save lives.
This is Shivani Radhakrishnan and Annabeth Smith, reporting for the Lovejoy News Network.
For seniors like me, the next chapter of life is both exciting and nerve-wracking. Lucky for the class of 2019, some of our favorite teachers have some words of wisdom to get us through. Michelle and Sophia have the story.
My advice for graduating seniors.
So my advice to graduating seniors.
My advice for graduating seniors.
So my advice is to lose your expectations. I've had students that I've known, former students, that when they're in college, they've gotten depressed, they've beaten themselves up, they've worn themselves out with anxiety because they just kept saying, it's not the way that I thought it was supposed to be. College is not the way that I thought things were supposed to be. My life is not the way that it's supposed to be. Life in college and those experiences aren't supposed to be anything. TV and movies, they've lied to us. They've fed us, fairy tales on that sort of stuff. It's just your experience, and everybody's experience is going to be different. A wise man that I knew once said, expectations are just premeditated resentments. They're just things that are going to make us angry later on. If we lose them right now and just embrace things as they come, I think we're going to be a lot happier.
Even if it's a performance or some athletic endeavor, or even if it's a difficult academic class, go for it. Try something new, push yourself to do things that you've never done before, things that you've never thought that you could do before. The experience that you gain from doing it, whether you succeed or fail, doesn't really matter, but the experience you get is what really matters in the long run.
And this is hard because I think schools are an artificial thing where students compete for grades and class rank and GPA, but life is not a competition. I'm the type of person that, like, when I drive, I don't want cars to pass me because I want to get ahead. But you know, just like traffic's not a competition, life isn't either. You have to just live your own life.
Most everything is going to be team oriented as you get to be an adult. You're going to be working with people that have different opinions and different goals, and you still have to work with them. And I think it's really important for everyone to have that sense of humility to be able to work with lots of individuals versus with only certain people who think like you.
One of the things that I think once you guys start as freshmen, it's always, okay, what am I going to do my sophomore year? What am I going to do my junior year, and so on. And, you know, as seniors, getting to the finish line of graduation. And there's sweet moments in that and all that, you know, the nostalgia, and you'll be looking back on high school, but also looking forward, right? Just try to not rush into working. Learn all that you can, make good friends, and just enjoy that time. Don't rush on to the next thing.
Seniors are going to start experiencing people saying, what do you want to do with your life? What are you going to major in? What's, you know, what and the tendency is to want to have an answer, to be able to say something, because you feel like you aren't doing anything with your life if you don't have an answer. But it's perfectly fine, seniors, to not have an answer to that question for quite a long time. I would pursue your interests, take classes, and it works itself out.
Some people are going to have tragedies occur early in their lives, and they have to adjust to that. Other people may live a long time and not have any significant upheavals, and everybody gets to live their life, and everybody's life is good. You just can't compare it to somebody else's because it's going to be different. It took me a long time to realize that.
Don't try to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. Perfection is unattainable, but we can all be excellent. And if your goal is excellence and taking the most and making the most out of every experience and growing in that excellence every day, then I think you'll have something to chase after that'll be fulfilling, but you won't feel crippled by that need to be perfect.
One of the things that was most beneficial for me was finding people who had the same interests. It was comforting to know that somebody had your back if there was something that you weren't catching. So if you can get in with a good group of people early on, and be that much more beneficial for you.
I'll throw in one more last thing. When I was about 19, I got to go interview a famous actor, James Earl Jones. He played Darth Vader in the Star Wars movies. And at the very end of the interview, I asked him, you know, do you have any advice for, you know, other actors or young people or just humans in general? And I think he was quoting somebody, but I forget who. But he said, really simply, he said, my best advice is to take no advice, including this. May the Force be with you.
We hope you enjoyed these stories. Thank you to all the students, teachers, and community members who've allowed us to tell their stories this year. And thank you for watching. The Lovejoy News Network will be back in the fall with more Leopard Spotlights. Until then, I'm Sylvia Hansen.
And I'm Hayden McKenzie.
And remember, if there's a story to find,
we'll find it here on Leopard Spotlight.